My childhood bully's sudden apology seemed fake, so I kept testing her to see when she'd crack. My fiancé Evan was making coffee when his phone rang, and his face went white before he dropped it. They're dead. Both of them are dead. When I asked who, he just kept repeating that his grandparents were gone. 3 days later, the lawyer slid a folder across his desk. They left you everything. The entire estate, $12 million, 3 properties, and investment portfolios generating $40,000 monthly. We sat there staring at him like he was speaking another language. Then 2 weeks later, a Facebook message popped up from Kara. My stomach dropped because I hadn't heard that name since 6th grade. When she told everyone at Maddie's party that I wet the bed, her message said, I've been in therapy and need to apologize for how cruel I was to you in middle school. I showed Evan and he said, 2 weeks after we inherit millions, your bully wants to make amends. That's not suspicious at all. He was right, but I was curious enough to write back. Sure, let's get coffee. Kara was already waiting when I arrived. She stood up saying, thank you for coming. I wasn't sure you would. Her hands shook as she wrapped them around her coffee cup. I was horrible to you and there's no excuse. I was dealing with my parents' divorce by taking it out on you. I'm so sorry. I waited for her to mention money, but she just kept apologizing until I finally said, so what do you really want? She looked confused. Nothing. Just to apologize. Maybe try to be friends again, if you're up for that. That made no sense. So I decided to test her. When she texted asking to hang out, I said, I need help planning my bachelorette. I wanted to see how extravagant she'd make it. A big fancy hotel, casinos, something expensive. She immediately responded, I know this great brewery that does tours for $30 a person. Or we could do game night at someone's house. Never once did she suggest Vegas. Later we went to dinner at this nice seafood restaurant, and she studied the menu forever before ordering just salmon with water. When the check came, she grabbed it. I calculated it. I owe $27.50 with tip, she said, handing me exact change. When she offered wedding help, she called me excited. I found this wholesale flower place. That's a third of the cost of regular florists. Despite the thriftiness of every suggestion, I only got more convinced she was acting. For months, she'd text funny wedding memes, show up with homemade cookies, ask about my mom's surgery, and never once mentioned the beach house or the money. One day while stuffing invitations, she said, I'm really glad we're becoming friends. I know I don't deserve it. I wanted to scream, just tell me what you want.